You wake up and nothing dramatic has happened, yet your body already feels slightly tight. Not panic, not fear, just tension sitting quietly under the surface. Your jaw is clenched without you noticing. Your shoulders are raised a little higher than necessary. Your breathing stays shallow even though you are safe in your own room. The day has not demanded anything from you yet, but your body behaves as if it is preparing for something. You go through the morning normally. You drink water, check a message, maybe look at a notification, and still the tightness stays. It follows you into breakfast, into work, into small conversations. There is no emergency, yet your body never fully settles. At night, when you finally sit down, you realize you feel tired but not relaxed. Rest does not arrive easily. You start to interpret this as personality. You think maybe you are just an anxious person. Maybe you overthink more than others. Maybe you need better mental control. You promise yourself you should meditate more or learn to be stronger mentally. Quietly, you blame your mind. But what you are experiencing is rarely caused by thought alone. It is your nervous system receiving too many signals without enough closure. Throughout the day, your brain is constantly scanning. Notifications appear. Lights stay bright long after sunset. Messages require quick responses. Decisions pile up one after another. Your brain never receives a clear message that the environment is safe and finished for now. The nervous system does not calm itself through logic. It calms when the senses detect stability. When your environment stays loud, bright, fast, and unpredictable, your body stays ready. Even when nothing is wrong, your brain prepares just in case something might happen. Calm, then, is not created by telling yourself to relax. It is created when your surroundings stop asking for attention. In many Japanese settings, calm is rarely forced internally. Instead, it is built quietly through external cues. Spaces are arranged to reduce sudden stimulation. Movements are slower. Sounds are softer. The body learns safety through repetition, not through effort. People do not constantly instruct themselves to relax. The environment gently allows relaxation to happen. Small sensory changes often do more than long motivational advice. A softer light, a slower movement, to a clear transition between spaces. These things tell the nervous system it no longer needs to prepare for impact. The body listens to surroundings before it listens to thoughts. Your tension is not proof you are weak. It is proof your brain has been protecting you all day without rest. Once you understand that, you stop fighting yourself and start changing the signals around you. Calm does not begin inside your mind. It begins in what your senses experience. And when the signals around you soften, your body follows without being forced. Pay attention to how you enter spaces. Most of us don't notice it. We move quickly from outside to inside, from one room to another, from car to office, from hallway to meeting. The door opens, and we are already thinking about the next task before our feet have fully crossed the threshold. Phone in hand, shoulders slightly forward, breath shallow, eyes scanning. The body never truly arrives. It only continues. Then later in the day, you wonder why you feel unsettled. You might assume you are naturally restless or easily overstimulated, but often the problem is not your personality. It is the speed of your transitions. Your nervous system tracks change carefully. Every doorway, every shift in environment is interpreted as new territory. When you move abruptly, your brain briefly enters alert mode. If you do this dozens of times a day without pause, your body never exits that alert state. Stay calm requires completion. Without a moment of arrival, The previous space never fully ends, and the new space never fully begins. You exist in a constant in-between, and the nervous system stays ready because it never receives confirmation that you are safe in the new environment. In traditional Japanese homes, there is a small architectural feature called the genkan, the entryway where shoes are removed before stepping into the main living space. It is not only about cleanliness. It is a psychological pause. You stop. You remove your shoes. You slightly bow or lower your head. The outside world ends there. The inside world begins after that moment. That brief pause changes the state of the body. Removing shoes is a physical signal that roles are shifting. The pace naturally slows. You cannot rush the action. You must bend down, untie, place the shoes neatly. In those seconds, the nervous system adjusts. You are no longer in public alert mode. You are entering private space. You do not need a traditional entryway to apply this. You only need to create a deliberate pause before crossing thresholds. Before you enter your home, stop for 3 seconds. Exhale fully. Let your shoulders drop slightly. Then step inside more slowly than you normally would. If you are entering a meeting room, pause at the doorframe, inhale gently, and soften your gaze before walking in. These are tiny actions. No one else will notice them, but your nervous system will. When you slow your entry, you teach your body that change does not equal danger. You allow each environment to complete itself instead of stacking on top of the last one. Over time, this reduces the constant low-grade alertness you carry without realizing it. Calm does not always require long rest. Sometimes it begins at doorways. When you learn to arrive instead of rush, your body begins to trust that transitions are safe. And once transitions feel safe, your baseline tension starts to lower in ways you cannot force through thought alone. Later in the day, even when you finally sit down, you still feel tired in a very specific way. Not sleepy, but drained. You haven't been running. You haven't lifted anything heavy. Yet your mind feels crowded, and your eyes feel strained. You scroll a little, look around the room, then back at a screen again, and somehow resting does not restore you. Look carefully at your surroundings. A television in the background, notifications appearing, objects scattered across surfaces, multiple colors, movements, shapes competing for attention. Even when you are not focusing on them directly, your brain is processing them continuously. Your eyes never truly stop working. You might think you lack focus or mental endurance, but your brain is not weak. It is overloaded. Vision is your primary safety sense. Long before conscious thought, your brain uses sight to determine whether the environment is stable. Every object, every movement, every bright light requires a small amount of interpretation. When the environment contains too many signals, your brain never fully settles because it keeps checking what might matter. Clutter does not only occupy physical space, it occupies predictive space in the mind. Unfinished visual information tells your brain something still needs attention. Even if you ignore it consciously, your nervous system keeps a low level of alertness active. This is why you can feel tense while doing nothing. In many Japanese interiors, rooms contain less visual demand. There is open space between objects. Furniture is lower and fewer in number. Colors are softer. There is what feels like emptiness, but it is actually intentional negative space. Your eyes have somewhere to rest. Because your eyes rest, your brain rests. The body interprets visual simplicity as environmental stability. Nothing sudden is expected to happen. The nervous system reduces vigilance without needing effort from you. You do not need to redesign your entire home. Choose one small area, a desk corner, a bedside table, a single shelf, and clear it completely except for one or two simple items. Turn off one unnecessary light in the evening. Allow at least one visual zone in your home where nothing competes for attention. When you sit near that space, you may notice your breathing changes slightly. Your shoulders lower without instruction. You are not relaxing intentionally. Your brain is no longer scanning as intensely. Your eyes quietly teach your brain how to feel. When what you see becomes calmer, your internal state follows. You are not calming yourself by effort. You are removing extra signals your nervous system was trying to manage all day. And once the signals decrease, calm begins to appear on its own. Think about how your day actually moves. You wake up and immediately begin. A message appears. You respond. You move to the next task. A notification interrupts. You switch attention. Then another task, another message, another small decision. Even during breaks, you check something quickly. Your mind rarely experiences a clear ending to any moment. Everything blends into everything else. By evening, you feel exhausted, yet when you sit down, you cannot relax. Your body feels like it is still moving even while you are still. This is not because you failed to rest. It is because your day contained no empty space. You might believe you are bad at relaxing, but relaxation requires completion, and your brain never received a signal that one activity ended before the next began. Without completion, the stress cycle remains open. The nervous system keeps a background readiness because it expects the next demand at any second. In Japanese culture, there is a subtle concept called ma, which refers to the space between actions. Not wasted time, not inactivity, but a meaningful pause, a slight silence before speaking, a moment after a bow, a stillness between movements in a tea ritual. These pauses are small, often only seconds, yet they change how actions are experienced. The pause gives the mind a place to settle. Your nervous system needs these completion points. Without them, stress accumulates quietly even if each task is small. The body never registers that something has finished, so it never allows itself to release tension. You can introduce this gently. After finishing a task, do not immediately begin the next one. Instead, take 3 slow breaths. Let your hands rest without touching your phone. Look away from the screen and allow your eyes to focus on something distant or neutral. Only a few seconds. No special posture. No meditation requirement. At first, it will feel unnecessary, even uncomfortable. You may feel the urge to fill the gap. That urge is exactly what has been keeping your nervous system active. When you stay in the pause briefly, your body recognizes closure. One activity has ended. You are safe before the next begins. You do not need a vacation to calm down. You need seconds of real endings during the day. Each small pause closes a stress loop. Over time, these loops stop stacking on each other, and the background tension begins to fade. Calm is not created by escaping life. It is created by giving life space to breathe between actions. When you allow small moments of stillness, your nervous system stops preparing for continuous demand. And slowly, your body learns that not every moment requires readiness. Even when you are sitting still, your body sometimes doesn't feel still. Your foot taps lightly against the floor. Your fingers move toward your phone without thinking. Your jaw tightens, then releases, then tightens again. You might not even notice it until someone points it out, or until you suddenly feel tired for no clear reason. It can look like restlessness or distraction, and you may interpret it as lack of focus or even addiction to stimulation. But what your body is often doing is trying to regulate itself. The nervous system holds small amounts of unfinished activation throughout the day. Every alert, every small stress, every decision creates energy in the body meant for action. When no action completes it, the body stays partially activated, so it leaks out in tiny ways, tapping, checking, shifting posture repeatedly. You are not weak for this. You are dysregulated in a very ordinary human way. The body calms most effectively through rhythm. Predictable, repetitive movement sends a signal to the brain that the environment is stable. Heart rate synchronizes, breathing deepens naturally, and muscles release tension without effort. Silence alone does not calm the nervous system. Rhythm does. In many Japanese daily routines, movements carry a steady pace. Walking is slightly slower. Preparing tea follows a repeated sequence. Even simple stretching, like the morning radio exercises practiced in parks and neighborhoods, moves in consistent patterns. These actions are not fitness goals. They are regulation patterns. The body follows repetition and gradually lets go of stored tension. You can create a similar effect with very small actions. Walk slowly for 60 seconds without your phone. Match your steps to your breathing. Or fold laundry deliberately, one piece at a time, noticing the motion of your hands. The action itself is simple, but the predictability matters. You are not distracting yourself. You are allowing the body to complete a stress cycle gently. After a minute or two, you may feel your shoulders drop or your breathing lengthen without you trying. The nervous system interprets rhythm as safety. When movement is smooth and repeated, the brain no longer anticipates sudden demands. Calm is not always found in stillness. Sometimes stillness leaves your body holding unspent energy. Gentle, repetitive motion releases that energy. You are not trying to be productive in these moments. You are letting your body return to baseline. Once your body finds its rhythm, your thoughts often soften automatically. You did not force your mind to relax. You allowed your body to finish what it had been holding all day. When night arrives, you expect relief. The tasks are finished, messages slow down, and the house grows quieter. Yet instead of calming, your mind sometimes becomes louder. Small worries feel larger. Thoughts repeat. You sit down to rest, but your body remains alert as if something is still about to happen. You might think nighttime reveals your anxiety. In reality, it reveals that your nervous system never powered down. All day your body has been maintaining readiness. Light stayed bright. Sounds stayed sharp. Your voice stayed active. Your attention kept switching. When evening suddenly arrives, nothing clearly tells your brain the world has changed states. Without a clear ending signal, your nervous system continues operating in daytime mode even in a quiet room. The body does not understand clocks. It understands cues. In many Japanese neighborhoods, nighttime gradually softens instead of stopping abruptly. Lights grow dimmer. Voices become quieter. Streets slow. Homes shift into warmer lighting. The change is sensory, not announced. The environment gently descends into rest, and the body follows because it recognizes the pattern. One of the most common evening habits is bathing, not rushed, but intentional. Warm water surrounds the body, muscles release tension, and breathing slows. Afterward, the cooler air signals the system to lower activity. The sequence tells the brain the day has truly ended. No instruction is needed. You can recreate a similar signal. Take a warm shower in the evening, not for cleanliness, but for transition. Afterward, your voice changes your breathing pattern. Even lowering your voice changes your breathing pattern, which changes your nervous system state. These small adjustments matter because your body listens to atmosphere more than to intention. When your environment softens, your vigilance decreases. Your mind does not need to keep scanning. You are not trying to force yourself to relax. You are showing your nervous system that the world is no longer demanding attention. When the surroundings become gentle, your internal state follows naturally. Your nervous system sleeps when the world feels safe enough to stop watching. And safety often arrives not through effort, but through the quiet signals of an evening that truly ends. There is one more reason tension follows you even after you return home. You leave your workplace, close your laptop, or finish your responsibilities. Yet something inside you continues. Your body sits on the couch, but your mind stays slightly prepared. You still feel responsible for things that are no longer happening. You carry your role with you. During the day, you are a worker, a problem solver, a parent, a partner, the reliable person others depend on. These roles require attention and readiness. Your nervous system adapts by staying alert so you can respond quickly. The difficulty is not performing the role. The difficulty is never exiting it. When the role stays active in your mind, your body keeps the same level of vigilance even when you are safe at home. You might think you simply struggle to relax, but your nervous system is doing exactly what it learned. Identity itself can act like a signal to stay prepared. As long as you feel you must be ready to answer, fix, or anticipate, your body maintains tension. In many Japanese households, the shift from public role to private self is marked physically. People change clothing immediately after returning home. A uniform, work outfit, or outside clothes are removed. Comfortable home clothing replaces them. Sometimes watches are taken off, bags put away, and the body sits lower to the ground. These actions are not only practical, they are symbolic. They inform the brain that a different state has begun. The body understands physical cues better than mental decisions. You can tell yourself you are off duty, but your nervous system believes what your senses show it. You can create a small release ritual. When you return home, change your clothes right away, even if you were only out briefly. Remove your watch or anything that signals time pressure. Sit somewhere lower or softer than where you work. Let your posture change. Speak slower, even if only to yourself or to the quiet room. These gestures communicate that performance is finished. After repeating this consistently, you may notice something surprising. Your breathing becomes deeper earlier in the evening. Your thoughts about unfinished responsibilities feel less urgent. You did not solve every problem. You simply stopped carrying the identity that required constant readiness. You are not calming your nervous system by forcing relaxation techniques. You are removing signals that told your brain to stay on guard. Calm is not a personality trait some people naturally have. It is a predictable response when the body understands it no longer needs to perform. The 6 habits you practiced, slowing your entry into spaces, reducing visual noise, allowing small pauses, moving in gentle rhythm, softening the evening environment, and releasing your daily role, all share one purpose. They teach your nervous system that safety exists in ordinary moments. You do not need to overpower stress with willpower. It was trying to protect you. And when you was trying to protect you, and when you give it consistent evidence that the world is steady, it finally allows you to rest. Calm is not something you achieve. It is something your nervous system permits when it recognizes safety. And safety can be built slowly, through small actions repeated gently every day.